here's what's going on. Now, I know you're in New Jersey. You just taped your final episode of Inside the NFL for tonight.
Yep. Last one of the season, and yes, it's good. We had a good time.
But it's the final one. Kind of sad.
Yeah, especially on the pocketbook.
it's so like I'm watching because football season's over. So you guys are going to recap, and we're going to recap still the Super Bowl. And obviously the NFL is a 52-week a year endeavor at this point. But I'm watching First Take this morning. There's Kendrick Perkins. There's Brian Windhorst.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter last night. I'm inundated with the end of the Knicks game. They're talking about it on ESPN this morning like it was the worst call in the history of the NBA. I believe Kendrick Perkins may have called it the worst call in the history of the NBA.
A February basketball
It was a
game.
bad call. There's no question it was a bad call, but I mean, what are we doing here? This is this is where I start to go, oh.
Yeah,
it's not playoff time yet, and the Super Bowl's over, and so now I have to talk about the intricacies of a Knicks-Rockets game from Monday night. What? And then God comes down and hands me Pancake Day.
You know what was so weird that I just that I noticed was I get to the hotel last night, turn on ESPN, and they're playing the excitement up to the draft. And I was like, okay, here we go. I'm looking at mock drafts. I'm like, yeah, Super Bowl just passed.
Knicks got jobbed. I got to worry about this today.
Yeah. How do you call that? A Jalen Brunson. Oh, Jalen Brunson. Like, they act like this Brunson is LeBron or he's Durant. Like, the Knicks are having one little cute season. We all know how this ends. Second round exit to the Miami Heat. Like, what are we doing with Jalen Brunson? He's very good. He's a star. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, Jalen Brunson, you can't call that on Jalen Brunson. What?
Solana, I think you said it to your point. LeBron, KD, Steph, them jokers 40 years old. They got to find some new stars, baby.
He is good, and the fact that he plays in New York makes it that much more exciting to have a really good player there. But my God, this was, team coverage since it happened last night. I don't know. I'm just getting bombarded with, can you believe what happened in the Knicks game? So I'm like, oh, what happened? Was there a stampede? Like they called a foul. There shouldn't have been a foul call. What? It's February. Last night, February 12th. It's Monday night. Okay. Terrible call. I'm sorry. Who's their coach? The Minnesota guy, the Bulls guy. Who's that guy?
Thibodeau.
Yeah, Thibodeau. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're at the receiving end of a bad call.
And Brunson and Wembanyama had 470 blocks on one series.
I did see that Wemby was doing it with blocks last night. Did he have a triple-double with blocks?
He did. First rookie in I don't know how many years to have a triple-double with blocks. He's doing it like Hassan Whiteside did down here in Miami.
I think he had 4 blocks in 3 series. The guys just kept running in there at him, and he just kept throwing it out of the bound.
We're 6 minutes into the show. We're doing Brunson and Wemby.
I know, but this is what happened. Like I'm flicking around on the TV. I'm like, oh my God, it's Richard Jefferson. What's going on here?
I watched a Bucks Nuggets game on Monday night last night. The entire game. I watched the entire Bucks Nuggets game on a Monday night. I mean, bring me back Joe Burrow, please, on Monday night football.
God.
Hey, now, guys, this is when the XFL and USFL would crank up.
Yeah, okay. I'll watch a replay of the Brunson foul 1,000 billion times before I watch any of that.
Gentlemen, we're 72 days away from the NFL draft.
Yeah! Let's go.
Oh, no.
Check in and see what Tim McMahon and Tim Bontemps have to say about the Brunson foul. Did you see the Super Bowl was the most watched telecast in the history of television?
I didn't see that.
The most watched telecast in history.
Wow. The Swifty effect. My girl Tay done put things to the top.
I saw something different though, Hoch, to be fair, because I did see it averaged 123.4 million viewers. It was the most watched telecast for a single network. 202.4 million viewed at least some of the game. But I read it's the second most watched telecast in U.S. history behind the Apollo moon landing. Crowder. Hoch left this show. He started sneezing. He started coughing at the same time. I imagine he pooped himself a little bit and had to go change his pants. That's what happens to the old, right?
Oh man, got weak parts. But yeah, bro, it's crazy. Like we talked about.
What would you have done if I never came back?
Well, I said I saw you sneeze and cough at the same time, so I thought you pooped yourself and had to go change.
No, I didn't sneeze. I was just coughing the whole time. I got something stuck in my throat, but I'm not even having coffee, so I can't blame the coffee grounds. I'm drinking a Ghost Sour Patch Kids.
What are you doing, bro? Are you 14 years old walking to chemistry?
Like,
what are you
so
doing?
I think there's little bits of Sour Patch Kids in this drink, and I think I got a little piece in my throat.
Huck, you know how old your heart is? You shouldn't be drinking things like that.
That's why I'm trying to keep it going.
Your heart is palpitating.
A lot of people take heart
now.
meds. I drink Ghost Sour Patch Kids.
Was that free? That you bought that?
So I think I had told Solana before. I had bought when my son was going back to University of Tampa. Excuse me. He asked me to get him some Ghost. They like drinking Ghost in the dorm room. So I said, "What flavor do you want?" He said, "Surprise me." And then when he drove back up for next semester, he left the Sour Patch Raspberry because they don't like that flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So I had one as a goof. I'm like, well, this is good. This is like drinking Sour Patch Kids. It's delicious.
And now your heart is beating like a lab rat.
I mean, it's beating like a jackrabbit. I could talk about this Jalen Brunson foul all day. But no, when I walked off camera, how long would it have been before you reached out to Lori? Like, at what point, if I did not show back up on the camera here, like how many minutes before you're like, hey, we probably need to call Lori?
I think the first break. We would have wrapped quick.
If I never came back.
Yeah, we would have wrapped quick, and then we would have reached out.
And then what do you think? Who would have called?
Ooh, I don't have Lori's number.
Jimmy.
Probably Jimmy, right? That would be your wheelhouse, Jimmy.
I don't have her number either.
You know what?
It would have ended right there for you, Jimmy, right? You wouldn't have tried to get it or anything. You would have just been like, I don't have the number.
Exactly.
We haven't prepared right. You need to text us all Lori's number.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because
Just in
we
case.
know. Yeah,
and these ghosts like
and you could be abducted too, because
how many of these are you supposed to limit yourself to in a day? Because this is my 7th.
I think one a week.
Oh my God! I looked over at ESPN2 graphic. Clay benched in clutch time. I mean, what's going on here?
Football. It's all that's left.
I know.
Yeah, there's no soccer right now. Well, American soccer, I guess. Yeah, that's all we got.
Oh well. It is what it is. Well, we are going to talk a little Super Bowl today. John Michaels is going to join us from 680 The Fan in Atlanta. We are going to play pancakes versus hotcakes. I would not allow a day. It's either that or another segment on Jalen Brunson. You can vote. 305-567-0560. Text.
Oh, I think the pancakes, hotcakes is for sure Mount Rushmore of Solana's.
I do love it. The only thing that gets me angry about that segment is after we play it, people call in, they go, or they text in, they're like, he's got a point. No, he doesn't. You're missing the conversation if you think he has a point.
I do. It's actually one of my finest points ever made on this show.
By the way, We've got another pair of Heat tickets to give away today. Heat and Jazz, March 2nd at the Kaseya Center. We'll give away a pair before 6. Let's do a quick look at headlines here with Alejandro Solana. I probably stole his headlines with all the Jalen Brunson talk.
Really quickly, Hawk, because you had walked away when you pooped yourself. I read.
What would you do if you saw me being wheeled in a wheelchair? I'm in a Paul Pierce jersey.
That's step one to you asking me to lift up your flaps.
Can you clean me?
That's the start of my 600-pound Hawk.
I had read regarding the Super Bowl, I'd read it, averaged 123.4 million viewers, most watched telecast for a single network, 202.4 million viewed at least some of the game. I had read that it was the second most watched telecast in U.S. history, only behind the Apollo moon landing.
I read most watched telecast in history, so
yeah.
We'll
either way, to be up there with the Apollo moon landing is something.
I don't know if I'm going too deep into this, but I think now a lot more people have televisions and things to watch on the Apollo moon landing.
I totally agree. Ratings-wise, the Apollo moon landing, but I'm like actual viewers, I would think the Super Bowl, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
There were people watching it on their phones.
If let's say you and I went out drinking, we're in Vegas, we go out drinking, I get hammered. Mm-hmm. And you get me back to, like, you help me, you get me back to my hotel room. This is now. I'm not 600-pound guy. This is just now. But I have soiled myself.
Mm-hmm.
Would you just drop me in my room and leave me there soiled, or would you clean me up a little bit?
No. As I'm thinking through it, I didn't know where you were going with this. I would put you in the tub and turn the water on. Mm-hmm. And then leave. I don't know. Who do I call?
Well, who do you call? Like, wait, you would turn the water on to drown me? Or
no, I would leave the drain open, and I turn the shower on and kind of let the water naturally unsoak.
Would you take my clothes off, or would you just leave me there in my filth?
Yeah, I leave you there, and hopefully the moisture of your clothes cleans a little bit. Hawk, I'm never taking a pair of clothes. I wouldn't even take gloves off of you. If you're in Las Vegas with some isotoners on, and you go to the bathroom on yourself, everything's in the shower.
I'm picturing the scene from A League of Their Own where Tom Hanks just throws that Kit into the shower when she was going crazy, and they all just leave her there, and she's just sitting in the shower. That's Crowder with Hawk. Just throw him into the shower, turn it on.
I've never seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah. The only thing I know about A League of Their Own is Solana has a very good impersonation of Tom Hanks. This is as close as I've ever come to seeing the movie. Go ahead, do it, Solana.
There's no crying in baseball.
He's got to work up to it because it's better than that. Like, I caught him off guard, but it happens to be a very good impersonation he does.
Hey, it is the climax of the movie, that scream.
That's it.
It has a plot line, but you don't remember much of it.
There's no
probably a fair. That's a fair thing for a friend to do. Like, hey, you've soiled yourself. Let me just get you in the tub. So it's that's as far as I'm going. I'll get you in the tub. Then you're just kind of in one area. You're not going to get out of that area, and you're in a perfect area to when you wake up and sober up to be able to clean yourself.
But so, go a little deep. Are you like passed out, can't even function drunk?
Yeah, I've soiled myself. Like, I'm not like just tipsy, and also I took a dump in my pants.
You know how some people get real drunk, but you can still be like, "Hey, man, hey, where's your phone at? Let me," and they can they can kind of stumble.
What's in your pants?
Hawk, no, don't do what you did a while ago.
No, I'm passed out. I'm passed out drunk. I've lost the use of my bowels, and you're just there. You got to kind of. You're just dragging me through the hall at Aria.
Mm-hmm. I put a rolled up towel behind your neck, turn the shower on, and and I take one of your door room, your hotel room keys, and come back and check on you a couple hours later after I get off the roulette
that's
table.
very nice. That's a true friend.
Got you.
When's the last time you did soil yourself? Do you guys remember?
I've never done it, not even when I was a baby.
Okay.
Like number 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? I don't know what 1.5. I don't know 9 months. Whenever the last time I was a baby, I peed on myself. Everybody knows my pee stories, but like that number 2 on yourself.
I've never lost control of my bowels.
Yeah, I don't. For you to ask the question, I didn't know yours now.
Well, I admitted it on National Tell the Truth Day. You just conveniently disconnected and had Wi-Fi issues that day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
When was that? When did you do
it?
Like 2016. I was
in what scenario?
I was working the board, and I was doing a Panthers game, and I remember I think like prior to coming into work that night, it was a late West Coast game. I'm the only person in the studio.
So you can't leave.
I had taken down a full bag of the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. A full bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Yeah, like I can't. There is nobody in the building at 1 a.m. while Doug Plagans was talking about, I don't know, Lakuvlikov or somebody. And I could not leave. And listen, I'm committed to my job, so I gutted it out.
Outed your guts.
And it's so unbelievable. That is such a great snapshot into local radio. Today happens to be World Radio Day as well. You've just heard the perfect World Radio Day story. We're so understaffed, you have to go to the bathroom in your pants.
So this is what, 9 years ago?
No, this was 2016. I don't know.
So 8 years ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. It's my one of my first shifts working as a brand new board op on WQAM, and you know, I'm thinking to myself, if I leave and Plagans goes to break and there's nobody back there, I'm going to get fired. There is no other option but for me to sit here and
little did you know back then you wouldn't have been fired. You'd have gotten a promotion. That's actually promotion worthy.
So we left a 20-year-old intern with IBS to run the building.
That's
Happy World Radio Day, everybody.
Guglielmo Marconi would be very proud. This sports update, it's driven by
Jimmy, if you got drunk and soiled yourself, I would take you to the nearest changing station and I would change you right on there.
You put him up on that little koala care table.
Oh, funny visual.
You walk in a bathroom, one grown man has another grown man on the koala care.
Oh. Hey, folks, I didn't tell football season to end.
Oh, boy.
This sports update is driven by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford. We know trucks. Also brought to you by Dade County Federal Credit Union, a financial institution you can trust. Now serving Dade and Broward counties. Go to dcfcu.org for more info. Unlock the door to your dream home with Dade County Federal Credit Union. First-time home buyers can receive up to $50,000. Visit dcfcu.org/HPA. For more details. DCFCU is an equal housing lender and is federally insured by the NCUA, serving Miami-Dade and Broward County. Your local headlines. The Heat are at the Bucks tonight, 8 p.m. tip-off. Jay Rich, we learned yesterday, suffered a dislocated right shoulder. He will be out. Terry Rozier, MRI revealed no major injury yesterday. If you missed that late in the show, just a sprained right knee, will be evaluated week to week. Jimmy Butler will miss this 2-game trip. Heat tonight versus Bucks on the road. Heat at 76ers tomorrow to wrap up the first half of their season. The Panthers begin a 3-game road trip tomorrow at the Penguins. Canes Hoops will be in action tomorrow as well. At Clemson, we found out the official first-round draft order for the NFL. I told you 72 days away. The Miami Dolphins, we knew this, but officially pick 21st overall. That's subject to change if there were any trades. But your top 5 right now, Bears number 1, Commanders number 2, Patriots 3, Cardinals, and Chargers round out the top 5.
All right.
Bears are getting rid of Justin Fields.
Think so?
Yeah, I think they should.
Caleb?
Take Caleb. He's the best. Or evaluate him. If you like Jaden Daniels, you like Michael Penix, I would say Caleb's going to be the number 1 pick. But, Hawk, you're a Bears guy. Like, don't you have to move on from Justin Fields?
I don't know. There's mixed feelings on him. And I've read some things where Caleb Williams doesn't even want to play in Chicago. So then you risk that. I don't know what you do.
Well, you could figure it out. The Caleb thing, I talked to his agent.
There could be a trade market for Justin Fields without question. So depending on, you could get a veteran QB in return, possibly.
The Steelers?
I read that yesterday that Tomlin is very interested. They released Mitch Trubisky yesterday.
Yeah, no, I think Justin will be coveted, especially in different offenses.
I'm just not certain that they're giving up on him. I think they like him. I think he's shown enough. They're in a very Tannehill situation with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
You see enough at times to go, yeah, I don't want to give up on him now. Like we're kind of in. And you also see games where you're like, yeah, this guy's not leading us anywhere.
You know what's crazy? He hasn't led the NFL in passing, and there's people that are thinking it the same way about Tua. He's good.
That's why I think the whole conversation about Tua is insane.
Yes.
Because we know what it's like to have a middling quarterback. He's not that.
I just talked about it, not on the show, but with the guys. And I was like, hey, so you want to end up with Chad Henne and John Beck and Tyler Thigpen again? I think we're doing pretty well with the history of the Dolphin quarterbacking.
All right, guys, your weather from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm. Call them 866-954-MORE, youraccidentattorneys.com. Free consultations 24/7. Again, 866-954-MORE. Partly cloudy. It's around 80 degrees. Gentlemen, that is your weather.
Yeah, it's funny. I said John Beck's name. I don't think I told y'all. When I was in Dallas at that NFLPA symposium for the East-West Shrine game.
He was there?
You know how I use his name as a punchline for 20 years now. He walks up. He's a quarterback coach, like a quarterback coach in California somewhere. I thought about you because I was so fraudulent. Hey, Beck, what up, big dog?
Hey,
man,
my dog.
Great to see you, bro.
We had some good times. Of a chance.
We had some good times, didn't we?
I would have loved to have seen that.